Are you guys okay with starting with Stephanie? She didn't say she wasn't coming, but
It's fine.
It's long drive, she might get checked.
it's a people. Unless she comes online.
I'm gonna get cities and addresses.
I have government.
Yeah, just go.
Let's go see it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Up at 90. Hi, Charles.
Hey, everyone.
Yes.
So, Gary is not here tonight, so I'm going to run the this behalf. I'd like to call the meeting to order. We have verified the quorum. We have 5 out of the 7 members here, and we have Charles on the line. The meeting is called to order at 5 p.m. And I would like to give 2 updates to tonight's agenda. Number 5, 902 CROA Road. The owner called at 3:15 p.m. today. He reports that the pressure washing has been completed, but due to the rain, he can't confirm, so I'm not seeing if we can hold fast until we can confirm compliance.
I'll make a motion that we'll hold it, I guess, till the next meeting.
And I second. All in favor?
And then I have another update, 1015 Tapestry Lane,
Which one?
number 24.
Okay.
And it's 1015 Tapestry Lane. The owner needs to submit an ARC design, landscape design. I would like to hold so that he can submit that and not have to do that. The owner may
Hey,
come on.
Danica.
Yes,
Hey, sorry, who's, you said Gary's not there, so who's
Gary.
running the meeting?
I am.
Okay. Do we don't have a vice chair?
I'm sorry.
We don't have a vice chair on this
No.
committee?
Currently no. I guess for next meeting.
I'm asking if we can hold it. So that I'm going to do the landscape design plan.
All right, I make a motion to wait till the next meeting.
I'll second
You're saying he knows this. We left him a message before he called us this morning. He followed up and then he called back to let him know that we're going to request a hold for that. He may come on the line still because he only left him a voice this afternoon. With that said,
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
can you adopt the agenda? Has everyone had a chance to review the main meeting minutes? I only heard that from Sandy. Were there any?
I think I sent you one and it said that I felt it, but maybe I.
Imagine
Maybe
maybe
I-
I go to something else that I'm saying. It's okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second. All in favor?
Thank you. All right. Item number 1. Oh, yeah. Remove 1815 Beach Ridge Road. Can you hear me okay, Charles?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. 1815 Beach Ridge Road, remove the sign from the front landscape,
Is that a sign that,
private residence.
right, but is that a sign that the developer put there?
Yes, and the owners like to keep. But once the home is built out and we move in, it's no longer private. So we can remove it.
Well, it's still a private residence.
Yes, the sign is.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. So, yeah, it's like
This is saying the sun's not up. And the design guide.
It's in my garage.
Is there a certain time period they're told them to purchase it?
They're told this right away and most owners want to keep it. So it's like, well,
I just don't remember seeing it in the design guide, so I'm asking.
He can put it in the window. Right, because you put the sign in the window. Yeah,
I mean, we allow signs.
We do allow signs, but this is not one of the signs.
And they have to submit an application to put a sign in the yard.
it's not politics.
Yeah,
There's a
declaration,
lot
yeah.
of stuff, wasn't there?
There,
This was a whole conversation, yeah, if you remember from here, see about what's a design or what's a sign and what is a yard art and what is a decoration and what is a something else. So
I could decorate this and put like stars on it for the July.
I'm just guessing, so it's maybe something that gets added so that people understand what specifically.
but the thing is this something that the committee wants to?
I'm simply saying if it doesn't say it, it is hard to enforce.
Someone is gonna be built.
The only good thing is, private residence signs, I said, they think,
I get why they want it,
that's not private.
and they're absolutely back here.
It's
I wouldn't be bothered by that, but
But remember, if, let's say 10 people put a private residence sign, and I'm a knucklehead and I'm going down the street, I think, oh, only the ones that say private residence are private residences.
and that's pretty much what we get.
Okay, that's why, and they think, oh, that's private residence, but I can go sit on that porch and get pictures. Because it's
From
not,
the RC perspective, since you just came from there, that's a no-no.
Yeah, it's like signs in general, I don't,
like for sale, it's on the,
yeah,
It's outside.
So what's the status of this?
Oh, it's
Still there.
still there.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to confirm the fine.
Second. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm not in favor, but I'm in favor because I have to be. Because it doesn't specifically say it.
Can you guys see it okay? Oh. Number 2, 1354 Celebration Avenue, paint the carriage lights. I think it.
I feel like we saw it before.
There's a bunch of those.
I make the motion that we,
Confirm.
confirm the fine.
I'll second.
Favor?
If they write a letter saying, I disagree, like if this person with the sign writes a letter to you and says, I disagree with that, here's why. Then I guess someone contacts them and runs to.
So what happens next, once it's confirmed, they get the next letter
You
and
know what I mean? Let's say he gets the first letter on this. And he calls and says, I think you're wrong. Then what? I guess someone sends him a copy or something.
of the design guidelines.
I get it, you're like the first townhouse of it being sold or built. Especially being built over here, that, you will have people walking up to
Yeah.
look at,
They usually like to keep it for a while,
okay.
because it's been a while.
2200 Celebration Boulevard. Remove the security camera from the front door of the house or submit an ARC application for review. There's been no communication from the owner and.
I think they'll probably get that one.
It's the street.
Do we have a? Do we know when it showed up? I mean, has it been there forever?
Well, it was taken 410. So prior to the inspection, before that, it wasn't there.
It was not there the prior inspection.
Prior inspection, which is what you're here.
Do we do a blast out once a year of like, hey, this is how you get a
Monday matters.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been drowning in Monday matters with updates and. And then the monthly magazine.
So make a motion to confirm the fine.
Second.
My seconds it.
All in favor? 2268 Celebration Boulevard, remove the security camera at the front door of the house.
I make a motion to confirm the fine.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Skipping by, going to number 6, 804 Golf Park. It's out of order.
Oh, that tree,
Yeah, that. I mean, it's still them on when they were explaining, I think I saw this house with them when I went from there.
Name and date, right?
Yeah, I didn't think they were necessarily right to ask, right people to ask for it away, but I know that that tree, I mean, if I were to put mulch around, I feel like there's like 5% chance it's gonna stay.
That's an ongoing issue.
Yeah, like the roots are just, I know what we want, but it's just I think some of these trees are gonna, yeah, and just, I know that I know that people will say it wants mulch, it just, the idea is it's gonna flow right into the street and then go down into.
So what happens, I could say the cheaper option is the mulch. We do suggest one of the approved ground covers to use when it's situations like this.
Yeah.
But they can still put the mulch because it hasn't been required for great trees to have it around.
But have you heard?
But what you really should do is contact CCP and start
Ideas.
escalating the issue because
I mean, that's just gonna.
I wouldn't mulch on that tree either. So you could send me as many letters as you want, and we can get mulch up.
Exactly.
I mean, it is vertically
Mhm.
a problem. And we know, it, and we're asking them to do something that we know is a problem.
But if the owner writes a letter, and says, I can't, look at this, I don't think I can keep mulch here.
Yeah, no.
Please give me ideas, then the process would stop, and there's somebody gonna have to give me an idea.
Well, no, it's not.
Like,
No,
it might stop.
I think you have an alternative.
The alternative is one of the approved ground covers, when they submit a completed application in order for us to put it on hold. So
So they put a box around it, like like not a box, border,
Do you see her face?
like a
Give me
border
the
around it.
answer.
no.
Because I thought they could do
You need Jasmine.
natural,
Like what?
something.
Even that well-defined edge bed?
Yeah.
Nope, there's no.
Well, it takes a long time, but if you install it.
So you put a couple of sprigs and it looks like it's growing.
And then you just let it grow. I think when I talked to Exquisite, they said it can take a few years to grow.
Right, so why is that an option? I don't know, I'm not asking you.
So
It
given,
is what it is.
given the parameters where we're at today, make the motion that we, confirm this on it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I'm not voting.
Just one section.
Bean Briar Avenue, it's another one. Add mulch to the right rear landscape bed, red mulch is not permitted.
They what they did?
Yes, no communications.
So they added red mulch.
No, they did not.
They did.
She added no mulch.
Okay.
They haven't, yeah. The owner, once they cure it, it's not permission.
So why does it say red mulch?
Not
They
permitted.
always just say that.
Oh, so it didn't say, it didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it did, okay. All right,
I'm wanting to ask a question. In the future, can you tell us who's been given an extension and who hasn't?
Okay,
For the.
I'm going back to thinking about
yeah,
what you said. And I'm looking at 2 people on Celebration Boulevard, or 3, installed a ring doorbell. And we happened to get all of them at one time. I found that hard to believe. But maybe.
like I shared with Don, I invite you to be a fly on the wall with the things that go on virtual many standards. You see the watered down, cleaned up version of everything that goes on with it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm certain that you have a challenge, you guys have challenges with residents. I'm not saying that at all. But you're telling me that the reason that we had 3 homes last month, and now we have 4 pages, is because they've come off of. But yet I'm seeing addresses on the same street with the same issue. That would tell me that that they more than likely were not on hold, because one person might have an issue. But 2 houses together aren't gonna have an issue and be on hold, or 3 houses aren't gonna have an issue and be on hold. So I wanna understand the whole process. I wanna understand why I wish it was more balanced out to where we would have 10 homes on each one. Or something of that nature, and not 4 pages at 1 month and 3 houses at another meeting. That seems odd to me with how this is laid out. I want to understand why it happens. So if you're telling me we have 4 pages tonight because they were on hold, and I'm looking at ones like this what would they have told you that would have put them on hold? We'll get to it. That's not an answer.
Now, we'll get to it. We have owners that call us and tell us that they're sick. We cannot tell them that they're not sick. We get
Illness, I completely understand.
They're traveling, they want to physically be here to.
Traveling should not be an issue. You own a home here, you keep your home. I wouldn't put a home on hold for
If
someone traveling. Charles,
if they receive a violation and they're traveling, that it's different circumstances for everyone, and we can't tell anyone on the phone that they're lying. We can't tell them that.
well, you can't tell they're lying, but you can't give,
So,
To
but you
clear it,
don't have to give them the hold.
but to clear it, they're gonna say, we need a pic, like when I file a mock thing, they're gonna say, we need a picture, and he's gonna say, I'm not there.
No, because the inspector goes out the day that it's supposedly done. So if the,
But if you file a mock application for the bell, they don't want a picture of the bell. Of the door, so from you. leave it
I'm
at
talking
that.
about mulch. Right now, mulch is on
Oh, okay.
the question. So if my landscaping guy tells me you put mulch in today, your inspector goes out today. I don't need to be here for mulch. I wouldn't give an extension for mulch. So,
Cause you can get a thing.
but maybe we just need to move on, and if that's what we need to do, that's what we need to do, but that just causes more people to have fun, so. It should
So I'm trying
have
to-
a fun meeting where we have three homes.
Charles?
sorry, I'm trying to follow along. So the conversation is around if they're on vacation, and I'm trying to follow along, but there's some back and forth. So what is the
It's-
concern
so-
specifically?
Sometimes we have snowbirds, we have people that say they didn't get the first notice, and then they
Uh-huh.
contact us on the second notice. We get a mixture of, this is why I'm not here and I'm not able to do it now. And 100%, whatever the guidance COV wants to give us on putting things on hold, we will follow it. But when we get these calls and we get the emails, and if we give them any pushback, then we get the escalation and they reach out to the board directly because we're not.
Well, that's why I said Charles,
So
because if he wants to have the final word, my point, Charles, was last month we had 3 houses on our agenda. Today we have 4 pages. I asked
Mhm.
why, and it's because people have come off hold. Then I asked, what does hold mean and how long are they on hold? And it is 30 days. So it should have been then, at every meeting before now, we had none and we had a ton, and we had none and we had a ton. That wasn't the case until now. We had 3 and now we have 4 pages. So I'm
Mhm.
looking at the picture saying, why would we put this on hold? Maybe this isn't the right house for a hold, but I don't know that because I don't know who on this list has already been on. That would be helpful to know because I don't want to grant an extension to somebody for something small that I think that they can do quickly, but you've already given them a hold. Okay, so first of all, I don't know which ones are on hold. So then I asked the question, what do you give them a hold for? And Danica said, well, they could be traveling. Well, you own a home in Celebration.
Right.
I don't care if you're a snowbird. I don't care if you're here or you're not here. If you live next door to me, you have to upkeep your home just the way I. So traveling to me is not a reason for a hold. Because you want to be there is not a reason for a hold. Find a neighbor, find a friend, find somebody you can trust if you're gonna be gone that long. Because it causes us to have people who have already gotten an extension, who in my mind shouldn't have. People who have already gotten an extension and we might give another extension to. And our agendas to then be 4 pages one time and 3 houses the next.
Yeah.
So-
So
So,
my, yeah,
I was
Yeah, I
only
mean,
going to ask. I was going to ask, I'm sorry, Charles, COV and Charles, and I just, for time purposes. These topics have come up in the office and I've been discussing with the team what I would like to do, and I know. Don't feel me for asking, but I would like to do a cleanup, a full-on audit, and kind of take a pause. Let owners know this is not everything that we're doing, but kind of give everyone a heads up and just say, hey, you have this month to get everything together. We internally know that we're going to resume, but it allows everything that's already open.
Well, I talked to Inspector, and that is, the inspector told me that they are giving grace. Now, while I appreciate a good inspector, and I appreciate somebody saying, hey, wash your steps. And when I come back in 2 weeks or a month, it'll be done. I appreciate that. I appreciate kindness. I appreciate the gesture and all the things. But if you don't know that the inspector just did that, and then they call and you do it, and then they get here and we do it, we table it, this is a problem. And it's probably the reason why things look the way they do. And it is nothing on you. Please don't take it personally.
I'm not taking anything personally.
I do understand that residents can be credible. And things happen. But to solve the problem, I never thought it was your job to give an extension. It was ours to table. I appreciate that there are extensions in Charles, if that's what the board is going for, but I also wish the board then would back us every single time, because now the inspectors are giving extensions. Town hall is giving extensions, we're tabling, and this resident still can't do it.
Right.
Let me time all across. I don't know
So-
what inspectors.
So let me, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Shelley. I just want to put this out there, and this is a good conversation. My thinking, number one, it should come from the committee. So if the committee can arrive at a position that is through consensus or a majority around what are the terms where we are and are not going to grant extensions, right? And then you bring the recommendation to the board and we vote on, then that, in my opinion, that's where it should come. And then obviously management can follow that direction and they have a consistent framework. As long as it's consistent and they can administer it consistently and equitably, I think that makes sense. My thought process too, I do think, and I don't want y'all to get bogged down with some of this stuff, but maybe a workshop to kind of work through this and identify. And then I know I've talked with a few of you about having the inspectors also come out to some of these meetings. So just food for thought. Maybe it's a workshop topic.
I think that's a great idea. Us as a committee coming up with the parameters of what an extension looks like and when it should be offered, when it shouldn't be. And then bring it.
Yeah, you all, it's your committee. And honestly, that's why it's not laziness, me not wanting to join your meetings. It's your committee. And so you all, I would trust you all to come up with a solution collectively and then identify it, bring it to us, and we'll back it. I'm sorry for taking up too much time on this, but again, just maybe a workshop is the place to talk through this and again, bring the inspectors and ideate and come up with something. So just my thought.
So to move forward, can you put an email out to schedule the workshop to discuss this?
Do it, assuming we have one, like next meeting, we don't have a long list.
But it's got to be a separate
It
meeting.
should be during the day. I work.
Well, the issue though is from my perspective, the only issue for us is we need to know if there's been extensions. If I look at the dates, like some of them might go back to, they all seem to be not that old, but some of them every now and then we'll get some of January. Right? So either we could get something up front that says there's been an extension, or just in our notes here, or we could just tell by looking at the dates. I don't care how they got an extension. To me, I don't.
I'm thinking that that's what.
I know it's kind
They're
of,
giving them one and healing.
it doesn't matter to me once it's here because it's here, right? So I don't want to get into the back end of how they got an extension. I understand that people will game the system, but they can game it outside of our eyes. Our committee is once again.
So what's this gonna look like if you have an extension?
But this could also be that they have more and this is the remaining item. And so this is all that's left here. So they could have generated an extension based off of multiple items that needed to be worked on. It's not just mulch all the time. So it's other things you take into consideration.
And we don't want to get into the history of those 7 violations.
Okay, so if we could get a workshop, but it can't be during the day. I work.
Yeah, and same. Like I think we, if we can do something, and again, we can all work through times and everything. Same. We all work and it's hard. And if we could do like maybe one, and we're meeting once a month for covenants to go through the list of violations, maybe we do it, in 2 weeks or something. So again, like I know you all have a full agenda. I wanted to at least put that out there because again, I think the most valuable recommendation is going to come from this committee. So if we can maybe work through
But is
that.
the issue, I'm sorry, but I thought the issue was what constitutes an extension? Is that not the case?
That would be the workshop. But Danika's already gonna put like an E if they've already been given an
But do you
extension.
think we need to have a meeting to discuss what constitutes an extension?
Wow.
I can tell you what I think it is already until the next meeting. So if the meeting's in 2 days and you waited, called 2 days before, well, you got 2 days.
So that's most of the.
If you call on the first, on the day after the meeting, you have 30 days, that's your extension.
So I can say, from talking to the team at Resident Services, when owners go over there, the first thing they walk in is, I need an extension. And we're not.
Right, and they're used to that, and they're asking for it.
No, it's a give and take, and it's pushback, it's being kind, gentler, and then holding them accountable, and it's also not being selective, so. we're-
And then they violation too.
It's a violation, it's just way out of like.
So if they need, so if we get it next month instead of E there, what does that do?
Well, we wouldn't table it.
Well, I wouldn't. The only reason we seem to table it is if we think the violation doesn't make sense. Isn't that really the reason?
It's been.
No, in the past, we have tabled
Okay.
easy and given them direction on what to tell the owner.
Yeah, but that's rare now that we do that, right? It would have to be.
Because we've only had 3 on the agenda.
Yeah, but let's see if any of these are.
Okay, we'll work through this one and then we'll figure it, but.
Yeah, the resident that's heading over, I don't know if it's the same one or not. Lauren just sent me a message,
So
so.
Meanwhile, this guy didn't have motion.
Yeah,
So I'll make a motion to affirm the file.
I'll say.
all in favor? Okay,
Charles, I don't know if you heard, an owner's headed over this way. I'm sorry.
I did.
But to your point, maybe guideline would be helpful for us so that we're consistent,
That's
so that we're not.
okay, we'll talk.
So it's not, yeah. Okay, so now the next one is 100 Grinnell. This brings up the porch items. So this is the bicycles, the properly stored away items on the front porch. You know, this has been a topic.
Well, it'll never be okay for my.
It's bike, it's scooters and other items. Yeah. So here is another one looking for your guidance. I know we took off shoes. And that's done with being on it until you instruct otherwise, but for these items, where does what we need, do we want to,
What's the guidelines?
That's the guidance.
the guidelines
Unnecessary.
porch items, which is furniture.
It had the
Where
word,
else are porch items?
and then say, or what's the word, not messy, but. There's another word.
Well,
Untidy. But I guess, like, did this person contact you guys?
No.
No, see, like, I could see a person contacting and saying, I have, my grandkids will be here for a month, and it's gonna be a mess,
What you did get.
right?
We got an owner, I think actually reached out to a board member about a bike because kids were like. I think it was a bike.
But there's no response.
Either way, I'm not okay with bikes. I am okay with shoes.
Okay, so they haven't responded, so I make a motion that we, host for fun.
I'll second.
Bikes are a mode of transportation. They don't belong on the front porch.
All in favor?
934 Jackson. Wide mulch beds are not permitted in celebration. Replace the missing side on the left front. I'm sorry, side in the front left and right landscape beds in the missing side in the easement area. A 2-inch mulch ring should be around all the trees, including the easement trees. Red mulch is not permitted.
Okay, I don't love the way you wrote that.
This was prior to the new guidance, so.
Well, no, I mean, I don't love it anyway, even if it wasn't prior to. So why mulch beds are not permitted in celebration? We've never called them wide. It has always been 12 inches from the tree or whatever it is.
Tree deep.
Yes. I was getting to that part too. So it's a well-defined edge bed and 2 inches of mulch, not a 2-inch mulch ring.
So so the verbiage has been changed to add mulch to the new verbiage per I think our May meeting. Add mulch in accordance with the landscape design guidelines is what was changed to this. This was written before that, so that's why it's written. This was the initial.
Yeah, but even before that, I can assure you that I have been saying a well-defined edge bed and 2 inches of mulch for 5 years. Because that has always been what's been important to me.
Yeah, and I guess you haven't heard from this person.
No communication.
All right, so I'll make a motion.
Like, is there a way to add on here if
If-
Jennifer has to engage?
Go on my notes.
Okay, if they've engaged or not.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
But I know you still have to understand the tree. I mean, understand how wide that is, because you're asking them to put mulch there.
Well, it's the front yard as well.
Yeah, once the curb.
Yes.
once the-
Yeah.
It's the front to the curb, but they need to bring mulch home.
But you're going to send them a letter and it won't say the same thing.
No, it shouldn't be.
Okay. The next, what do you mean a letter?
What are you gonna send them to tell them that they're being fined?
The third letter just lets them know that landscaping and mulch is briefer than this.
Okay, so it won't give them clear instructions since this is not.
It will go back to the landscape.
Well, the other letters don't have these pictures,
The final letter does not have the
but
picture.
the other ones do.
The first notice has a picture.
So did you make a
I
motion?
made a motion to approve.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye.
833 Oak Shadows add mulch to the eastern tree, per design guidelines, red mulch is not permitted. Mailbox is, sorry. Mailbox is peeling, shipping paint mailbox. No communication from owner. Here's the mailbox. Here is the.
Oh, my God.
Be a little better.
So we're out of book shadows, add mulch to easement tree per design guidelines. So this must be a new one. We're saying it's a new. But we're saying, okay.
All right, so I make a motion to confirm this one.
I'll second it.
All in favor? E1117 Rush Street, people.
Tree trunk.
Yeah.
Oh.
Certain, okay. Is it all?
Tree trunk. Where did it come from?
Is it just chopped?
I don't know what, I don't know.
Okay.
This is the tree trunk is laying against the side of the home. It needs to be removed and you need to paint the side. And no communication.
No communication. I make a motion to close the time.
I'll second.
All in favor?
823 Spring Park Blue.
Are these really the only dates? I know that these just happen to be on my walk every morning, but are these really the most recent? They didn't get anything in the first quarter. I mean, I know that technically 331, the next for 12 and 13.
Some of them did.
Marty did is part of the first one.
Yeah, but like there's nothing before this for these next two homes, even though they've looked like this since.
Well, so the prior picture would have been last year because in the first quarter. So when they go to their neighborhoods, that's just when they get to that particular address.
And they can't find somebody who's already been fined in the same court.
But we can go back and like, so something else, just so you know.
Because I learned that too, and I was,
Because like.
I'm not in love with that idea either. If your house has 20 things wrong with it and they just missed 5 out of the 20.
Yeah.
They should be able to get a letter for the last.
So we are going back to, if it's something brand new, you can go back to the home. And get an update. So if it's a driveway, we only go by and it's a driveway, but then we go by next week and they hung string lights or something else up and we get the notification, then we'll go back because it's a brand new.
Okay.
So 823 Street Park Loop, pressure wash the porch railings, left side window and driveway. Clean the right side tank, add mulch to the right side, left side and rear left side landscape beds and eastern tree rings. Treat and remove weeds on the front left and front right landscape.
What's the tank?
There's shutters down, like there's a lot, like they're missing shutters, they're missing this.
So,
I know it's not on here, there's like,
so I was walking the shutters because they could have had an ARC to approve for them to not have shutters there as well.
like one is missing on,
Oh,
like you
yeah.
have one on one side and then they're just missing. They're just,
What's it? The tank. They have a problem.
Yes.
Big tank.
You can see on the picture.
No,
this one,
but
Oh, they cleaned the fence down.
they cleaned the fence, but they didn't clean the chain.
Where's the tank that,
The white right here.
what's that?
The,
What's
What's
it?
it, propane tank?
yes. the propane tank.
It's dirty though?
Yeah, on the side, that's.
Oh, right. Is that the?
Porch, so this is the porch railing. The porch railing looks better. So this would be a determination from the committee if you want to
I can see
remove the
that.
porch
Still
railing.
got cleaning on it.
Yeah, it's still cleaning items, but at
It's
least for the
the,
porch railing.
Right there, that's the dirty part.
Yeah.
They engage, because no one's been there.
Do you know this house?
Yes. I-
Okay, so that's how.
Yeah, it's fine, it's like, oh, it's like, I see this again. No.
No, they have, they have done some work, so the cleaning, you can see the difference here, and you can see the difference in the
No, I'm
window.
surprised. It's not meeting,
But,
but,
I don't get if they had a power washer, whether they could do the other stuff.
the grass.
So what are
right
they
now,
doing?
it's grass, it's like shin height.
I don't, you know, I hear it.
Is he trying to get in?
Oh. The door's not, go that way. Go that way. I'm just gonna look around and he.
It's actually when we used to be South Village this week, and I said, hey, I don't want to know about specific, but I kind of want to understand how homes that haven't been, there's been there or the furnace is breaking down on the front
Well-
porch, and it's, these two homes is. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and have a seat. What's your address? Steve, 834.
Okay. 8:34.
Let's go to 17.
Yeah, we can see. Would you mind signing in?
Okay. Do you want to go over this one?
Yeah, that's.
It looks like we're gonna pass on the ramp, because we're gonna get a decent job at the ramp, and then I would, propose confirming fines. Fines, yes, it would be like cleaning window driveway tank and landscape weeds. Yeah.
So the motion
Are we
is,
pictures? Are we done as far as?
I know.
I'm sorry, if I'm
Yeah.
way on.
So you'll start seeing the landscape, when the grass is up by the tank, now it's kind of plain, like the grass is still that length, and it's now up to your shin.
So the windows like that's down on it.
So, yeah, I assume landscaping, all streets, right?
The window's a little better,
They can't wait until
It's still a mess.
but it's still, it looks like they need.
He sprayed it, but he's gotta take the spray off. It's not,
Clean it.
yeah.
It's hard to see.
okay, so the motion is,
The motion is
Okay.
confirm the fine for A and B, except for the red take the railings. So I'm obviously okay with the picture.
all right, I'll second that. All in favor? Okay.
Not today. Once all this, we're all done, could you send me a picture of that house in November? Or like whatever the last pictures of we have?
884 Spring Park Loop. The front right landscape beds, red mulch is not good.
Is that little valley that you're talking about?
Yeah, it's just in between the jasmine and the landscape, and then around to the landscape bed, that's all.
Was there something?
You go up or down, whatever you call it, so I can see that bottom picture.
That's not for
Oh, okay, sorry.
So it was like, there was something there. Was there something
It
there?
needs to be mulch, that's all.
It used to just be mulch, you think?
That's all that it should be.
No, never.
What is the line?
How did that develop? Was that line, I guess?
That's where, the water goes through. So I don't understand why I got the notification.
So that trench, at the end of it, in the beginning, there's water that comes down.
Exactly.
I did pictures from the front.
So,
So that's always been the water.
it's always been like this. And
I
that's,
think it's always been that way, and I
Exactly.
apologize, but it,
it really surprises me because, my next door neighbor has a disaster. It's not a property, it's a disaster house, which is 80 old. It's been like this for 50 years. I keep sending you guys pictures of their house. I don't know what happens to them. Nothing happens to that property. My property
what's
is
the address?
80 old. My property was being depreciated by that house. And I don't understand why the house is being kept just like that.
You know, I know, when you're,
I keep sending you guys no pictures all the time.
Where did you send it? Did you send it to?
Yes.
To,
Yes.
validate.
I've been sending pictures
Have you gone
every
to a board
year.
meeting?
Yes. Yes.
Or what?
Every single year, I send you guys pictures of his house, and nothing happens.
Mhm.
Either, either is the mayor of Orlando, or he's probably the owner of Separation, because, he doesn't do anything, and nothing happens to him. It's unbelievable.
for the gentleman.
And for me, I mean, you guys tell me, you guys ask me mulch for this. I go like-
Yeah, I can validate that I do.
Your property and his property are separate properties. I understand your frustration.
We
We're
just want to know
asking them
that.
to look into it, but we still have to follow the design guidelines for your property as well.
Yeah, if
So I
you guys
apologize.
go like, listen, either you come, we're gonna charge you $100 a day for that.
Yes,
I go like, oh my God, you should be charging $1 million a day for his property, not mine.
Where is that? Is that the front walkway on the left over there?
Yeah.
So on the front, that's your walkway.
This is not mine, and this picture's been taken 100 years ago.
But that's the walkway, so it's kind of by the walkway. So this water would be,
Design guidelines say. Gotta be.
How big is that space? How big is the space?
it's like 4 inches maybe.
Yeah, like it's a few inches.
What's like, what's going on?
So it's really the design guidelines, so does it say it has?
So it would
mulch or-
not require mulch around it because that is jasmine.
If
That is
If I,
different things and that would require mulch to be in there.
if I put mulch in here, and I just like the storm we had today, this is gonna go away in like 5 minutes.
Disputing you, but the landscape design guidelines is set up for that. If that's a trench,
It's just funny, they're not rude. That neither one.
If the jasmine came.
it's either the jasmine, yeah.
If you ask me, if you ask me to plant some type of grass,
Jack, can you add some jasmine there?
that's fine, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it better than mulch.
No.
I think that's.
It's a better solution.
Jasmine wouldn't be washing.
Yeah, jasmine.
Yeah, I can do it.
Jasmine or grass, either one.
Yeah,
Let's see if we find the sun.
Yeah, some jasmine.
but not,
Well, what is does the plans for do the old plans have, the old pictures have mulch over that, is what you're saying?
I have to get to the old pictures. I can't.
Ah, okay.
I think right now, so I can't open.
So
it.
could you, if you see there was mulch and he wants to put jasmine and grass, he has to file an ARC. Okay, so I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, so we'll do this.
Can reach out to you tomorrow with the ARC, email it over to you if you do need to complete it. I just need to look at your old photos to see.
Sure.
So if the old photos have mulch and he puts down mulch, he's done. If it doesn't have mulch, you have to file a form that says you're putting jasmine.
yeah. I can do whatever you want, but not mulch.
He doesn't.
Jasmine would be the best bet. We'll get you the form.
All right,
You
so
fill it out.
is that grass on that side or is that jasmine on that side?
grass on the right, jasmine on the left.
Exactly,
So all he has to do is let the jasmine grow over
But
the.
it hasn't been grown.
exactly.
Just coach it along.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll make a motion to put table to the next meeting.
I thought we didn't take them.
Well, we said.
There we go.
Weird things.
I'm in this person,
Yeah. All right,
but not with, with what happens with my next door neighbor.
Well, next neighbor, she's gonna look at that.
Please,
And this, the best thing to look better for your yard too, just put the jasmine in.
yeah, I shouldn't say that, but he's a handyman.
of course.
He could have the best property in the whole celebration.
But this committee only looks at the houses that the inspectors have looked at on our agenda with a letter. So that's why we're looking at yours and not that one. But Danika's gonna take care of it. She's gonna make sure that they do.
Please.
Okay, thank you for coming in tonight.
Appreciate it.
But we appreciate you coming and
Get
telling
that
us.
jasmine in, I'll take a look at it for your lawn too. Okay,
Thanks.
thank you, sir.
It's easy to maintain. Mulch is forever running away.
That's what it was.
Take care. Have a good day.
So it looks like that went through, and we'll put table.
Are you tabling?
Yeah, we're gonna table.
So I have a motion.
I made a motion.
I second that.
All in favor?
We should go back because he acquired the property in 21. And it really was in disrepair, but it's been missing like most of the hedges, so I'm surprised it's still on here.
Yeah, the pictures, it's all like,
Yeah, it's in the corner. I mean, out back is also like, there's always it's usually a disaster. But yeah, it's a beautiful.
yeah, the hedges look like they were.
They've been missing for, and then the end of the time, so that's not.
But you're gonna look into it now.
Yeah,
But while you look into it, could you please tell us why it's never made our?
yeah, because we have all of their neighbors, just a few houses away. And it's a pretty obvious one. Like the Santa slate stayed out until it destroyed the grass.
I just wonder why it's never made it to.
Is that the skeleton house?
No,
That's not skeleton.
not skeleton house. No, yeah, it's like it's a slide out there for a very long time, but then you can tell all the hedges.
We have a hard on 645 seconds. We have.
Eight twenty-five Spring Park Loop. Repair the window trim on the dormer windows in the left side missing soffit. Pressure wash the right side stem wall, fence pole, right side fascia, sidewalk, lead walk, steps, porch railings. Porch fascia and driveway. Remove the downspout on the rear left side of the home. Remove the weeds from the steps, from the front left, and rear right, and in a neat and consistent manner. Add mulch to the front left, from right to rear left, and rear right landscape beds.
They had there's been.
There's no communication.
You want stuff?
Yes, I do. We were very concerned for quite some time.
You want some coffee?
Yes. And walk it free, it's a 5-year-old, so walk/bike it frequently. But I mean, this one I worry about also.
So any assistant been done? Nothing been done? And no response?
No communication.
So maybe in the future for meetings with long ones like this, if you show the pictures and someone else reads the description, because when you read all that, means nothing if I can't look at anything. So if you'll drive the computer so the group can see, I can read this.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's true, yeah.
All right, so I'll go ahead.
So repair the window trim on the front dormer windows. Do we have a picture?
I scrolled down and go to 17 and came back up, so.
There's something up there. Oh, it's gonna call.
Just making a note of that. Yeah. We need to take you back in the archives.
I think the reason why this one never really made it should have just for the state of the house, but I think all the neighbors slowly chipping away what we could help, but.
So we have the picture of that?
Yes. So we'll skip the dormers. And the left side missing soffit, which Dan pointed out is right there. Go up a little bit, no, down. I work on that.
It's missing something that.
Sidewalk, lead walk, steps, and porch railing. Okay,
And then the driveway, also that's right here.
That's got, yeah, a lot of cleaning.
porch fascia,
On top
that's
of
what that is.
that too.
Fence,
Fan, holes, a mess over there.
Side, you know, wall, this thing.
And that grass is growing bricks.
Yeah.
Between
And the wall.
it just has fence pole.
that was up there.
I know, but it doesn't say that, it only says fence. Okay,
And that's just. Where's the downspout? Is that up there?
That's the broken down spot, right?
Just hanging?
so it's not connected.
It's just not connected.
This
As
is
a
the
right.
rail.
Okay.
It's a soft.
That should be dry walk and it should be right rear landscape in neat and consistent manner. So that should say if what we decided was 6 feet, which I think it was,
Trimming mulch.
it needs to be cut down to 6 feet or 10 feet. whatever the rule is.
Something. Beach trimming mulch. So I'll make a motion of fine for A, C, and D. They all look like this building.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
I
830 Spring Park, add mulch to the left side landscape bed, that mulch is not.
So does the right side have mulch?
They don't have a right side depending on.
Yeah, it could be a fence. All right, so I'll make a motion that's confirm fine for A.
As a second, I'll second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
860 Spring Park Loop, pressure wash the right side, front and left side drip edges.
I can see it's on.
That appears to be done.
It looks better.
Must-
You can make it, why do you make it bigger?
Who's blind here?
I see it now.
Hit the bigger on the bottom there.
That looks clean though.
Not on the bottom.
Not that.
Not right there,
Okay.
but it looks better than that.
No, you can see it on the right.
No change at all.
It's just the light.
And here's the other side.
But why would it only be the right side of the house?
Well, it depends
Both
on the.
sides and
Yeah.
across.
It's hard to see, but it's there.
Yeah. All right. All right, so I'll make a motion from fine.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. 873 Spring Park Loop, treat and remove weeds from the right side landscape, prune the landscape on the right side and then the ends. Here is the main one, yeah. Let me just quit.
Okay, so
Is that better?
we're talking about the yellow.
Just a
not the
landscape.
blue, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Just landscape, it just doesn't add mulch, so like.
Well, that's like a bed right there. Is that a bed? It's full of weeds.
No, treat and remove weeds from the right side.
873.
873.
Okay.
Any treatment, and you need to model and take care of your lawn.
Treat. If
Do
remove,
we have a front, do we have a picture of either the whole front or the whole back?
No, please not to, you did the side. This morning.
It seems to me that those weeds carry on somewhere else. They're not
it's there.
just on that side. Because it looks like they go around the back. And that's why I'm asking, because I'm seeing a consistency of do something on the right side or do something on the left side, but not do something all on both sides.
Well, here, look,
So it could be the layout of the house, which is why.
it looks like the left side has an AC in it, there's not a lot over there. And the right side is back further. You should say it right, because I think it's short on the left side. So,
Either way, there's more weeds than a lot of those. I didn't make a motion to find.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
888 Spring Park.
Agriculture hit hard. I like it.
Look, this picture house is.
Exactly.
Add mulch to the rear left side landscape bed, and red mulch is not permitted. No communication from owner.
Very brown, right?
That's what I'm writing down.
I'll make the motion to impose the fine.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
892 Spring Park, now this is the question how 880 is gonna come here.
Unless something's going on.
Experience, you'll see it in the stuff.
No, but I just don't, I mean,
After, that's like,
Why they're not on?
It's been going for a long time.
Yeah. and they are up there, so I do. Yeah, they're.
Well, valid question.
it's not on here.
That one has to get real.
They're not on the
They're not on the
Good try.
892 Spring Park.
but I've been telling them for a year.
And left side your bench.
Never see a picture of this house?
No, no.
I make the motion to propose five.
I'll
So
second.
it's not always that it's, I want to correct that, it's not always no communication. The owner has reached out, but there's no updates from the owner from his meeting. That's where we're saying no communication. There's nothing recent. Owner may have reached out prior, there could be something in the notes, but for the purposes of the meeting, there has been no update.
Okay, motion made.
It would have to say,
Since 8,
Yeah, second.
not 8.
I'm sorry, it's 892. Do I have a second, sorry?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
916. Paint mailbox post, pressure wash the rear right wall.
Doesn't. Okay. Anything in down there?
No.
She.
That's it.
No, the number.
On the same space.
Yeah.
906.
906.
I make motions and, motion firm.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Shelley, would you mind with 918?
You read that.
I'm struggling.
Okay.
I am struggling.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
you can
Okay.
read it,
Okay.
but I'm still struggling with 2 houses.
19 Spring Park Loop, replace the mailbox numbers. The numbers must be gold or white with a clear or black background.
Here are the mailboxes. No change.
Tear the soffit on the left side of the house and shutter on the rear right side of the house.
Here's the soffits.
I was just hanging down that panel.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, need it to the shutter. Here's the shutter.
Just sitting there. Yeah.
Pressure wash the left side wall. There you go. Paint spots on the rear left side wall. Paint spots.
What's that?
It means if
Oh,
they
that-
painted it with the same color, but their color had been weathered by the sun.
It's a
So
spot.
they're the same color, but one stands out to the other, even though.
So it should paint the whole.
So they needed to
Paint the whole section.
paint their 10% that they could paint individually, or they need to paint the whole side of the house.
Add mulch to the left rear and rear landscape fence. There you go.
Yeah.
And prune the rear right tree away from the home.
I wouldn't sell that one. Yeah.
All right.
So in the one that Don asked about, are you gonna tell them to move the cord, the hanging thing?
Let's see what that cord is.
Because on this one, I'm wondering if we're gonna say anything about the pots.
Like, so you know, if you see a cord hanging down like that, and if it's not written up, we can't, right, we can't. Hold on.
Fixed and painted the same color as the house. It can't just say.
Yes.
Where are the pots? What you say?
And those on the left, you're right.
Well,
They did, they're on the stoop maybe for the, I don't think, yeah.
when the inspectors go, they not want to like make a big list. Is that partly in that thing? They don't want to find one. Because then once they get this,
Well, you recently.
Yeah, they did catch a lot. And I think they are, I mean, I also got to witness, and I think people were nicer once they realized I wasn't staff, how our residents interact with them. And with me standing there with a little notebook taking, I think they backed off a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think they are detail oriented. They're probably not writing up every single infraction. But I hope that
That is
we
when
ensure
they
you
don't do it,
Mhm.
and then they get letters every quarter. I think that you
But
just
for you,
tell me
I'd rather putting this.
what to do. And then I know you've inspected my house, but what would make me mad is if you inspected my house and you gave me 3 things, and then you come back and you inspect my house, and those same 3 things had not changed.
Right.
And then you write me,
Well, if they,
and then you come back and you write me up again for 3 more things that were there from the first
time.
Or
That's people saying it's been here forever, or, we had a trainee with us as well, who was pointing things out really well. I think, like, I went out with a very detailed person who was snapping, mulch. I wish that the system allowed for them to pull up, what it looked like a year ago, what it looked like I would, while they're standing there, because I think that was, it's not on here, but like something that was engaging with a resident who was saying, hey, I'm heading out to travel for an extended period of time, so I need you to tell me what is wrong now. And it looked from the outside like a missing flag post. Okay, it looked like just a hole. It actually had the owner not come out and spoken. It's a woodpecker, like a woodpecker has decided that's its favorite spot, that it comes and waits and she said, what do I do? Like, what do you want me to do? And he handled it really well, but at that point it is. From the photo, it would have looked like a missing flagpole. In actuality, so I feel like they're not given necessarily, they understand the guidelines and they know what they're supposed to do. It's some of that nuance of trying to figure out, okay, this is an unusual request. But I would say they're probably not ready to fix this fraction.
So they do come back to the office because the photos are in our system, so they don't have access to it. And because we went from SmartWebs with CCMC, the prior management, then they switched to Sierra, and now we're back in SmartWebs. All of the photos are not in SmartWebs for them to go back to. So that's the second half.
No, we started in SmartWebs.
We started with SmartWebs, and then when we transitioned to Sierra,
For how long?
since spring, this is in here, but the photos are not, so the individual inspection photos are always housed in the folder. So they have to always come back to check the system and see what was there prior to determine if they need to write them.
Only if they have only been there for 2 years, as long as Grant Manners.
It's just in general, they do have to go back and look 5 years back to see. Sometimes they do have to go back 5 years.
And those are in Sierra, and Sierra's always been there.
So the folder,
I mean,
yeah, the folders, whatever was there with CCMC, those pictures transferred over, we have those. But in the SmartWebs itself, it's only what's recent that's in there, but it's not the full collection of the property itself.
I just think it would be easier because it would be, it's not their best use of time. Something has been around for 5 years. That had no person engage on.
I would tell you, we don't have a grandfather clause.
I know.
doesn't matter. But if somebody, like with 918, they have these 880, right?
Yep.
So now, am I right that an inspector is not gonna go back there in July and give them new violations until these run through the system?
No.
No, so,
July's a brand new report.
so then the new quarter, they may get a new letter, different dates that runs
There's
there.
a different date and it could be a brand new.
Or they would even change where it was in the new quarter.
So January to March was 1 quarter. So if something happened or did not happen, some homes were in compliance and then a home that was in compliance got a violation in the same quarter. You just don't know because every home is different and every situation is different. So
Right, but he's asking the question of what I told you earlier, that an inspector told me that they only give a letter 1 time a quarter.
it is supposed to be once.
Because that's when it's looking at.
That is only once a quarter, but if once you came in.
So once they get it, they cannot.
For the same item, they cannot.
They can go back.
If it's something different, if it's something different, if it's.
Then this inspector is not understanding that.
But looking at this photo, so I'm looking at it and I'm seeing the the bins, which I'm assuming are not within code.
Right.
And similar, with particular on our garden hoses. If I were the homeowner and I'm going, well, okay, you told me to do this, and then because those should be in violation, right? Would be on a,
So the garden hose is okay, it's on the spigot, it's on the
Okay.
on the side of the home.
Yeah,
So,
the particular one, but we want it not on the ground.
yes,
But the black and yellow bins can't possibly be.
Exactly. So that would be a coaching for me with the inspector on items.
Okay.
And in July, they might get a letter for that.
Yeah.
And they can say, well, these.
Yeah, yeah.
or like if they're gonna get one for this dead bush that's about to die,
Yeah.
who can predict?
So, I'll make a motion to confirm the fines for A, B, C, and D.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Ninety.
So we're now on the 22-930, replacing this gutter from the rear of the.
That's quick. All right, I'll make the motion to confirm the fine.
I'm not afraid. I don't know why the other part of it is not there, but our neighbors keeps popping up.
I mean,
Popping apart when it rains too hard, and he keeps going up there to fix it.
some of that.
And if the rain is too hard, too fast, the gutter can't handle it. But I don't know where the other half is.
I make a motion in a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
1412 Stickley, add mulch to the front left side and rear right side landscape beds, red mulch is not permitted.
All right, I'll make a motion to confirm the fine.
I'll second.
All in favor?
It's just.
627 Mulberry, add missing light fixture to the front entrance. Seven.
Oh,
Yeah.
they probably would have liked fixture and just never put it back up. Alright, so
No communication.
Communication.
now I guess they'd have to, unless it's the same one, they'd have to file an R.
If it's the same one, then they're fine, but if it's a different one, they have to file.
I'll make a motion to confirm the fine.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I have a feeling they're in the middle of something.
What they,
I feel like,
Middle of it,
I feel like the list might have been longer,
oh, maybe.
and this may be the last of the last letter. I don't know that, because the flag thing is a different color.
Mhm.
It appears to me they're trying to
Do something.
fix or paint or.
Paint.
I'm gonna take it off the knee.
But that would fall into some of the things that we get in the office with updates, and this could have been very well one on the list of things.
Yeah.
The list is cleaned up for the 918 paw stand, pressure wash all sidewalks around the home.
Right. Watch, I'll make a motion to confirm the fine.
Do I have a second?
That's nine, so you did. Clean this up. Just asking.
They might have.
Okay, motion been made, second.
Favor, aye.
Aye.
Sorry, here's the other portion of the sidewalk. I just watched it now.
Reason I asked that is it's a town limit and the dirt went all the way down, so
Yeah.
the question was if you could only ask this person to do it and not the next one, just continue, because they're not on the list.
Or they did it and
It's the same.
604 Teal,
I'll be happy.
thank you.
614, clean or pressure wash the front sidewalk, front lead walk, front steps, porch railings, front white picket fence, rear lead walk, rear.
She's going to the pictures.
That's what we got. We got a lot there. We got front sidewalk, front lead walk.
It is for sidewalk.
Is that from a different perspective? Because I don't see I see the white picket fence.
It's just tilted.
It's just.
It's got a lot of shit.
Same.
Front lead walk.
Yeah.
Stop, show. Porch railings.
It's like weird.
It's paint, right?
Yeah.
I like the-
Front white picket fence. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I.
We don't have the paint on here.
So looking at paint, it's gonna paint. I would say that it's probably
That's
the paint.
paint.
Has to be paint.
That's not fair.
It says clean or pressure wash, so it's.
It's really not bad. It's missing paint.
Well, same.
Okay.
But it should, in the future, it should specify
clean.
It's the same thing, but,
If we're sure that's.
If we're sure it's clean, we can't walk on there, we walk to see if that's actual.
yeah, but you can see from here, I can see that. That's,
It wouldn't match.
Right.
It wouldn't match in the two months.
Right, painting is a category and it doesn't, we don't have that category on here, so they're being told to clean
just a.
where bare wood is instead of paint.
Just clearly understand what they.
Well, assuming it's wood, and it's.
Yeah, so, can you tell it's wood? I'm not, I don't.
It shouldn't be the same, it shouldn't be the same size.
Well, because what are they made out of? Wood or PVC?
Right.
It's not PVC.
I guess my.
It's the
I can't
post
tell
one.
that it's
Alright.
the same page.
Can you tell them down there?
They got rear steps and driveway. Steps in the rear. I got a lot of pictures here. And driveway.
That's those little hands.
Oh, it's-
That's here.
Wait, that's the front, these are the rear steps. Right, that's the front end, and that's the rear steps. So it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
it's a different,
and driveway.
two different sets of steps, because of the poles.
Right, right.
The ring poles.
Where are we asking them to do sod?
Wait,
Okay, no,
we got the wood first.
sorry.
Can you go back?
Alberta.
Well, I keep telling you the wrong way, so, okay, this way. Pull this one down. Those don't have caps. Okay, where's the other railing?
Yeah, it's down.
That's the back, no, that's,
It's two different.
no, that might be the front, that's wood.
No, it's two different rail, it's
It's
two
two
different
different
rails.
because the other rail looks totally different.
And this, the steps are blue or
Okay.
right here and.
Yeah.
That's definitely paint, miss. I've installed enough of them to know. Can you go, keep going? Right there. That's paint and dirt.
Yeah. I just made that.
That's dirt.
Did we get past the water hose? Probably still water hose, but not in use.
We saw that.
We saw what,
Yes. It's farther down.
pressure wash, well, we saw this too, pressure wash and paint front white picket fence. Remove wood parts and debris from the right side of the garage, I think we saw.
There it is.
Add mulch for all landscaping beds and easement trees as needed. Red mulch not permitted for celebration charter.
Okay,
Add sod for left easement front.
that way. Nope, the other way. Got a little. The other way.
Yeah.
Why is it so difficult for me? That needs grass.
Yeah, we have some.
We don't-
Add sod, left side easement.
We don't say well-defined edge bed and we miss the fact that that's not a mulching area, that is dead grass.
And the leaves and.
There was other areas of for mulch.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
Any side and mulch.
And you need to hold.
But we haven't said something. Yes, we did.
Oh, yeah, it's sod,
Oh, damn, I thought.
it's sod.
What do you think? Can we make
It's
sure
not like
we
something-
understand and specify with this paint? Needs painting like that. Picket there, I mean, that's really obvious.
Well, they
It
have a
says
lot.
press the wash, it says repaint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got
And
you.
no.
And
where does it say that?
It says a third line down, press the wash, repaint.
Then painting, like if you look at number 21, painting is a category, so we need to add painting here. So if we do confirm these fines tonight, then that should be 4 categories, not 3.
Good point, yeah.
Or would it be pressure wash it? And then
It's not impressions.
Second pressure.
Well, either way, he's got,
And we've said paint. Because we've said it, it's a category.
well, we can't give him a thing for paint.
Yes, we can.
No, right now.
we can't edit it now, it's
Okay, that's
so we
okay.
break it out as a category for paint.
Oh, okay. So then we'd have A, B, C.
Yes.
So then I'll make a motion to confirm the fines for A, B, C, and D, which is D.
Again,
All in favor?
Uh,
605 teal,
Sure.
pressure wash, clean and pressure, You know, pressure wash, front sidewalk, lead wall steps, add side to the front left landscape bed and easement. So here's the pressure washing. Lead wall and the side.
What in the hell is name is that?
Here.
That thing in there. That's a cover.
That's sod. Is that where they're supposed to sod?
Well, it looks like you put something up.
So he said that, I'm sorry. The homeowner, the items have been corrected, but size, but. However, after the reinspection, a portable AC unit was removed from the window, so that's irrelevant, that's why it was removed off of here. And the rest is not done. So he had an additional portion of the violation.
Why do you put the screen?
Here's what he thinks. He thinks he only has to grow grass here and here. Did somebody tell him that he can't have this much room from the tree to here?
He wasn't told that, but we have, other communication from this owner other than what was shared and.
Do we know what this is like before?
605.
You said he wasn't told that. He wasn't told what?
The letter said to him, clean and pressure wash the front sidewalk. This is about to the lead wall steps, add sod to the front left landscaping bed and easement.
Right, add sod.
Is that the lead walk? Is that?
So that's.
Well, is this the front of his house?
That's his push.
So add sod.
Add sod.
So he was told.
Yes. I'm sorry, I misunderstood your letter.
But I don't know that you see how this is marked off? Like, don't walk, we added something?
Maybe, well, maybe he thinks you can add a walkway.
That's like a walkway.
But on the right side of that head is.
This is probably the same width as this.
Yeah.
And this here cannot be mulched.
No, just the landscape bed should.
This would be mulched and this would be mulched, but this would not be mulched.
And that very well could be.
But I don't think he understands that based on this.
Or that's what.
Oh,
landscape bed is.
Yeah, so that used to, okay.
They used to
It
always
used
stop.
to have, I'm confused. I'm looking at old photos.
There is a walkway
Yeah.
here.
See,
You
it's,
see, there's concrete right here. You probably can't see it, but
it
there's,
used to have hedges. It used to
Oh,
have,
it's a hedge there?
like, it
You
had,
see the hedge right here in the first one, it's the way they took the second picture that you can't see the full hedge, but that hedge is in.
it's this hedge that goes down in this picture. It looks like yeah.
okay.
And then the hedge
There's
is.
that much room.
So he took something out right here. This hedge now ends before it gets to this one, which is
I'm sorry, my mouse is not working.
that thingy. So you'd have to replace the missing hedge if there was one here,
It probably was, right? Makes sense.
it appears. But you can't tell what's behind this one. It's what's in this hole right here.
Well, it should match the right side either way.
But either way, that cannot be that width.
Well, he's doing something there because he put that string. But
He's trying to tell people, stay off, he's trying to tell people to stay off the grass,
Right.
which is what you can see in place. Right here where it says stop. He needs more.
While she's doing that, we talked, I think there's some merit regarding defining what an extension, what it looks like.
Mhm.
You think that or not? Because I think they're arbitrarily just give extensions all the time.
It's irrelevant. You should know your employees and they should have clear enough.
I think the answer is if you need an extension, you submit something right, put an explanation. And then you must submit it because I don't know, put it be right.
Good.
My daughter, something wrong with the car, she had to pull over on the side.
I was gonna say,
I'm physically here, she's coming to get me in the car, so when I told her to stay there, we have things to go through.
Okay, let's go through this.
Okay, no more questions, like if we can't, we'll save them for next.
Yeah,
We're gonna do them
so we have a motion to confirm the fine.
from 6:05 to.
6:05.
I'll second it.
I'm sorry.
I said, I'm motion, you second.
Dan,
Dan, all in favor?
oh,
I'm changing now, we can talk this. You gotta get it.
905 U, pressure wash sidewalk, store away items on porch, out of public view.
and there's a sidewalk, there's a bike, another bike. We've seen in the last one.
And some other items there as well.
I mean, the steps too.
Yeah, pressure wash sidewalk.
This is sidewalk,
Yeah.
because the sidewalk.
It might just be, but that might be just.
Either way, we're confirming the fine.
I'll make a motion to confirm.
I'll second it. Favor? That's fine.
Do you need a ride?
No, it's not.
So we say you're being right.
Pressure wash.
No, we were done.
No. We have pressure wash, front and sidewalk steps, lead walk, drip edge in front of home, railings, here, and side fence panels, hedges, ground cover are required in front of the picket fence for landscape design guideline. 900 years, so.
It looks like it's
So,
done, right?
yeah, he didn't give any communication, but this to me is an indication that he's going to do something, but this again would be for the committee to.
I'm like,
Yeah, but
it's pretty much, no, and if it's the same person who's been dropping off mulch all in that corner, I fuck this as well. They stayed, the mulch bags stayed there
Well,
for
the mulch,
a long time.
Wow.
No, I meant the fine.
the mulch should be for the rear portion.
Yeah, so there's more weeds now than there were before.
Okay, shall we make a motion? Did you?
I second.
Second. All in favor?
But you
I'm.
I'm-
okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay, so now, Don,
Well, we don't. No.
no, we're gonna do.
Okay.
I don't have any action items, so yesterday, the committee did receive an email, covering this committee regarding some outstanding ARC. Violations.
Did you guys get the letter? Everybody get the
What's
letter?
the email?
Oh.
We did a quick deep dive today because we've been working on this and everything else. Most of them do have arcs on them. It's owners need to do records requests in order to see who has an arc and who doesn't. Some of them so far, and this is again, is preliminary, but some of them have two, I believe, were during COVID, which is going to be
Are
hard.
you telling me that all of those people are sitting waiting for ARC approval?
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, good, because you and I would be taking it out.
Okay. This is, no, when I say this is ARC related stuff, it's going back, like you said, some of them are from 2023, some of them are from 2019. A few of them were during COVID, but we're still doing more research on it. So we're putting together, getting all the information, the inspectors are going out. Some of the illuminated ones were approved by ARC. So again, the person that sent the complaining email does not know that some of.
So not everyone got that email? It was an email blast, everyone
You
here.
guys are on it because.
I just got an email saying.
It's basically, as a disgruntled resident, I mean, frustrated, and I feel for them. And they have a long list of all these properties that they said,
Don't make sense.
they took the grand manners and it was ignored, to tell me what they're saying. And then they included pictures. So they spent a lot of time on it, so at least in their mind, that they weren't being heard. And so they brought us.
But that's not, we get this, that's all the time.
But we don't get this.
You guys don't get it, yes.
Well, this usually you get one or two, this is a long list.
This, no,
This is long,
we
comprehensive.
don't get a short list. We get really.
And there were a lot of photos of all the places on Gulf Park that are illuminated, bright lights.
But two of them were just recently approved the other day.
But there's at least 5 or 6 I saw.
We're handling it is the bottom line.
We're handling it, we're doing the research to see, to confirm exactly who.
And then let us know what we need to do.
But no, but John,
One question I had for you, so if a resident does come to you with a complaint,
Mhm.
is that elevated beyond what the inspectors, their list to go around?
It's still an inspection regardless.
But should that take precedent from one of their day-to-day stuff?
So it's treated the same way as an inspection, you have to go out and follow up, but we get complaints of owners just upset at the neighbor. I don't think Scott would know it, but there's an owner who submitted an ARC for their tree to be removed from their front yard, which was approved. The neighbor across the street
Yeah.
has been calling Angelica, and saying this is getting a year because the neighbor does not use the car. And the neighbor wants that woman to have a tree in their yard so that the neighbor. But these are some of the things that, yeah, has nothing to do with that homeowner, it's not an easement,
So that was done on your property and I can't speak to you, but
but they call, and they get a request.
Well, if they didn't put out the tree, you certainly tell them they filed, they got an approval and it's gone. How,
And that particular homeowner did do a request, she got everything, but because she wants to physically see a tree in her neighbor's yard. She's
how
called.
they get a tree screen safe?
that's a board thing. Because it's ultimately gonna get to the board.
No.
Well, no,
You don't give her an answer she likes, we
Oh,
gave
yeah,
her,
yeah.
We gave her the answer,
that she likes.
that's
It's
it.
like to go to the board.
but it isn't approved yard. She's not required to have that crepe myrtle in her yard.
Great, Myrtle's horrible.
And she did.
For the next meeting, can you do a follow-up with us, just tell us, so we're educated as to how the land is?
What's left?
And I don't mean it on her property, just tell
It's
us.
just an overall,
From the list.
yeah, just give us an update, because they reached out to us, so.
So, because Charles was copied on it, so the update we're providing to the board is what I was going to fix.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
Done? Call for motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to.
You need to write to your daughter. I can give you a right to your daughter.
No, it's fine. I'm about to call her back now. And see
Where
if
is she?
It's somewhere on her way here.
From where?
I got it covered. I'm gonna call her back and see what's going on.
Well, you can call her back and I can still give you a ride.
I
You can still hang out.
Yeah, I'm fine. Trust me, I'm fine. It's okay. I'm going all the way back to Orlando Universal. Her girlfriend's picking her up. They want to Carlos where it's sitting, so the tow truck is there.
I knew it was here.
I'm still happy to take you wherever you need to go. We are still friends outside of this.
You never get, a text, you get, you know, a text with a picture of this photo screen saying what it's lightning.
Oh, well, wait until I show you the text I got yesterday.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
See you next month.
Just for me.
But, did Caitlin get?
Some lady on TikTok. She wrote a whole TikTok about my daughter.